This video is something that I had mentioned a couple of videos ago. I was going to tell you the story about my purchase of my Louis Vuitton Takashi Murakami Speedy 30 multicolor. Here is my story and my experience with Tradesy. You'll notice that I am placing my bag on this mulberry dust cover because I did not get a dust cover with my bag, which is fine. It didn't indicate that I was going to get one. Anyway, that's not important. So let me get into the story about my deal with Tradesy. And let me preface by saying it's not Tradesy so much that I have an issue with or had an issue with. It was more the seller. Mine and my husband's 18th wedding anniversary was this year, and for my anniversary my husband purchased this Louis Vuitton bag for me. It's something that has been on my wish list for quite a while, like I'm saying 17-18 years. This has been on my wish list nonetheless. Okay, and I have had experiences with both the Real and Fashion File. I made the assumption that Tradesy is or operates the same way as Fashion File and the Real. Wrong. If I would have done my research, if I would have done my homework, I would have realized that they are nothing like Fashion File or the Real. The way Fashion File operates is you have an item. They're kind of like a consignment shop. You have an item and you sell it to them, or they purchase it from you for X amount price and they turn around and resell it. I guess depending on how much of a high demand that item is, depends on the price, and I get that. The way that Tradesy works is nothing like that. Had I known that the way Tradesy works is their items that they list on their website are shipped and sold by the sellers. They're not in a Tradesy warehouse. They're not being inspected by Tradesy. None of that takes place like how it happens with Fashion File. I didn't know that. I take blame for part of that because I should have done my homework. I should have looked into it more. I mean, the good thing is they guarantee the authenticity of the bag, which they did. I have it in writing. Not a problem. I'm not even questioning the authenticity of the bag. Okay, that's not even the issue. And I'm going to get into the issue here shortly. I just wanted to kind of give you a backstory of how this all came to be and where it started from. So it started from me thinking that Tradesy operated in the same fashion sense as Fashion File, and they do not. Once I made my purchase, I received an email letting me know that the item was going to be coming my way, that the seller would be contacting me, and that is when I realized there was a little bit of a difference, quite a bit of a difference in the way that the process is done. I read further through the email and it proceeds to tell me that this just frustrates me all over again. So there is so much turnaround time. I don't think a lot of people realize how much turnaround time there is. Okay, so this is how it goes. You purchase an item from a seller. They can either opt to ship in their own packaging, or they can opt to receive like the box, the tissue paper, all that from Tradesy, and they have 5 days to receive that. So it's 5 business days to receive that. From there, they have to, when you first purchase an item though, they have 4 days, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 days to acknowledge the purchase. So they have 4 days to acknowledge the purchase that you've made. If they don't acknowledge the purchase, then you automatically get a refund, no questions asked. But they have 4 days and they can do it on the 4th day. So we're talking 5 days to receive all of the packaging material if they choose to, which my person did. And then they have initially 4 days to accept the order, then 5 days to order the package, or they have 5 days to order and receive the packaging supplies, etc., etc. And then on top of that, once they get the packaging supplies, I think you have to receive the item like within 10 days from there. So I mean, there's an abundance of time that you have to allot the seller to do all of this. And I'm just not accustomed to having to wait 19 days before you get your item. I mean, and I might be going off the chain on that. I might be misunderstanding that whole process. I don't think it's 4 days and then 5 days and then 10 days. I think the 4 days and 5 days are kind of mixed in, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. So let's fast forward to the day that I received my item. When I got my bag, I was not prepared for what I got. When I got my bag, I was not prepared to receive the bag in the condition that I got it in. I reached out to the seller. I said, hey, I'm going to be moving out of state. Is there any way we can expedite the process? Oh, sure, not a problem. And I'm going to find the texts or the messages, and I'm going to insert them into this video so you guys can see how nice this person was. She was super nice, okay? So she said, not a problem. I said, thank you so much. I thanked her. I was like so grateful that she was going to go above and beyond and do this for me. I'm like, wow, this is a great seller. Not a problem. I'm going to leave her really good feedback. So she said, I will ship this out either today or tomorrow. And I said, okay. So today came and went, nothing. The next day came and went, and by the third day, she ended up shipping. I had literally 2 weeks to get this item. I didn't want to pressure her too much on shipping this ASAP because I felt that I already had asked too much. The day comes that my order arrives, and I get the box, and she sent it. I think it was UPS. She sent it UPS. And, you know, I expected from the post office, but I didn't expect UPS to treat my box, you know, like it was dragged through the mud. It wasn't. I'm just over exaggerating. I'm just saying the box was kind of crushed. But that's not the part that bothered me the most. What bothered me the most is the size of the box that it came in. So the bag is kind of flattened. The box that she put it in was, I'm not exaggerating, it was probably about that tall. It was about that tall. It was barely wide enough for the bag to fit in there, okay? She didn't flatten it like how you get it from the store. She just flattened it any old which way. That pissed me off. The second thing that pissed me off is that in the box, it wasn't even wrapped in anything. There was no bubble wrap. No, she just it's like as if she threw the bag in the box and said, fuck you, this is what you're getting. It was a fuck you packaging. I never curse on my videos, but I'm really, really fucking pissed about the way this all happened. So now, you know what? The floodgates just opened. So now I'm going to be dropping F-bombs, just saying. The way it all happened was so utterly fucking ridiculous that somebody who made as much money off of their item from me and got paid right away shipped this beautiful, expensive bag the way that she did. I was so livid when I opened the box. I'm like, seriously? Like, what the fuck? Like, who does that? That's not the worst thing. Wait. So I get the bag. I look it over. I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's as described. You know, it's a beautiful bag. You know, yes, the hardware does have some scratches on it somewhere. Not a big deal, you know. It's exactly as the way she described on the exterior. Here's where I made my biggest mistake. I never, ever realized that there were no interior photos of this bag. When I show you the inside of the bag, you guys are going to fall over in your chairs. I'm not kidding you. So let me open her up. All right, so I have her a little stuffed right now because, like I said, we are in the middle of camping. But let me take some of my stuff out and then I will show you. All right, so I'm going to try to do this to where you guys can see what actually is going on. So as you can tell, the bag looks great, right? You know what? Let me get a flashlight. I'm going to do this one-handed. So from with the naked eye, you know, the bag looks great, what have you. You know, everything looks fantastic. It has, you know, pocket. Everything looks great, right? Do you guys notice anything different yet? You guys notice anything different? Yep. That is a cover that I put on the bottom of the bag, and I'm going to tell you why. I purchased this from Joann's, and it actually matches the interior. But the reason why I had purchased this is because of this. That hole. That hole right there was not in the fucking description. She did not fucking tell me that there was a hole on the bottom of the bag. So she did not, at any point in time, write in the description that the bottom of the bag had a fucking hole in it. Okay, so my fault for not realizing there were no interior pictures. Why I overlooked that, I still have no fucking clue, because I am Inspector Gadget when it comes to buying shit off the internet. I inspect everything. Like, I'm zooming in on shit. I want to make sure that everything that you're notating in your listing is exactly as how it is listed in the sale description. At no point in time did she ever fucking say that there was a hole on the bottom. So what I did was I reached out to Tradesy, and I let them know immediately. I said, we've got a problem. I said, there's a hole in the bottom of the bag, and it's just a hole in the, it's not even a hole. It's like she got some kind of sticky residue on the bottom, and she pulled it up, and it must have pulled off, you know, some of the fabric on the inside, the lining. And so I told them, I said, we got a problem. I said, there is something wrong with the bag that she did not indicate in her sale post. And they said, oh, that's a big no-no. We can refund you immediately. And I said, let me think about it. So I told my husband about it. And he goes, hun, it's a vintage bag. And it is. It is a vintage bag. Honestly, he goes, I don't think that it's worth returning. And I said, but the problem is the amount of money that I paid her. I should have been told that fucking problem existed. Then give me the option to decide whether or not I want the bag. But I'm being held by my own emotions. I'm being held prisoner by my emotions because I really wanted this bag for so long. And the price that I paid, which I'm not going to tell you guys because that is neither here nor there. It has no value to this video. It adds no value to this video. So it doesn't matter. The point of the matter is that when you sell something, especially like this, especially when it's a vintage piece, you should indicate everything, every flaw, everything that is wrong with the bag, because you are stealing the opportunity away from somebody to make a decision, a sound decision on whether or not they want to keep it. There might be people out there, and sometimes I'm like this with certain things, that don't mind if things have wear and tear on them, because that's part of the beauty. Then there's things like this where you have a fucking hole in the lining of the fucking bag and you don't bother to fucking tell anybody. And then what really pissed me off is when I reached out to her and told her, hey, there's a hole in the bottom of the lining. I said, you didn't mention that in the listing. I said, and you didn't even post any photos of it. You know what her response to me was? It's still a beautiful bag. Bitch, you fucking lied. It's a lie. because you made the bag, you sold the bag under false pretenses. That is a lie. I don't care what anybody says. That is false pretenses. Now, again, back to the beginning. My issue isn't wholly with Tradesy because they were more than willing to give me my refund. My issue was with the seller. She took zero accountability, and I told her, I said, I'm gonna leave you a bad review. And I did. I left her a bad review, and I hope she's not selling anymore. So you could tell this is still a very, very touchy issue with me. Yes, I ended up keeping the bag, as you can tell, because after some careful thought, talking to a few people, they were like, you know what, it really is a nice bag. It's not a hole through the bag. I even talked to a professional cobbler. I am going to end up sending it into the cobblers. That is a business based out of Miami, Florida. They are going to clean her up, condition her, polish all of the brass hardware, whatnot. They're a very well reputable company. So yes, I did my homework. I did my research. I read reviews. I went on to the Better Business Bureau. Trust me. I did my homework. So bottom line is, unless you are okay with doing the process the way I explain, the way Tradesy does it, and they explain it in their website, but I was foolish and giddy with excitement that I didn't even pay attention. My emotions got the best of me, and I was blindsided by the fact that I was going to be getting a bag that I had been wanting for several years. The price was great, etc., etc. So that is my story. Bottom line is, check out your seller. Make sure that you guys have interior pictures of any bags that you purchase from Fashion File, Tradesy, The Real, Bag Bar or Steel. Make sure you have interior photos. If you guys aren't one for the seller sending you the item, then stay away from Tradesy. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever purchase from Tradesy again. That is just my little piece of advice that I wanted to share with you guys. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.